Hi, this is Yolanda Vanveen from vanveenbulbs.com. And next we're going to learn all about how to pull dandelion weeds. Now we all have beautiful gardens and beautiful yards and nice grassy areas in our garden that are just meticulously perfect when we get a chance to work on them in the summertime. Then all of a sudden fall comes around and I notice I have little dandelions coming up all over in the lawn and in the garden. And I really don't want them. They have little pretty yellow flowers on them. People think they're beautiful. A lot of people actually leave them because they all have a pretty yellow flower on them. But I don't let them in my garden, and I 86 them whenever I find them. And there's a few different ways that you can do that. Now you can tell this is a dandelion because it has broad leaves that look almost like lettuce. And it doesn't have the little yellow flower on it right now, so that's not giving it away. But I know it's not a flower that I want in my garden because it does look like lettuce and it looks like a little dandelion. So the easiest way to get it out is just by pulling it out. And in the flower beds, that's easy to do. I just kind of go to the bottom of it and twist it around, and I actually kind of dig into the dirt just a bit, and then I pull. The most important part of pulling a dandelion is getting all of these little roots. Because if it breaks off, it's just going to grow new leaves. You've got to get every little piece of the root out of there because even the little pieces sometimes will regenerate and will start more dandelions. So it's not always that easy, but if you're persistent, you will win. Okay, now I have a dandelion in my grass. And from my experiences, when I try to go down there and pull it, most of the time I just get the leaves and not the root. So I found an easy trick that my husband's not too thrilled about, but it works well for me. And as long as you clean that screwdriver before you put it away and your husband gets home, it works really well. So I just go down all the way around it and just kind of pull up. And I just kind of go in a circle and just kind of keep rocking it and just loosening up the soil right around where the roots would be. And eventually, I'm pulling up the whole plant and some grass, it seems. But you can always put the little bit of grass back, or I found just by pulling out some of these broadleaves out of your yard, it gets more air in there and the grass will fill right in. So it's a really easy way to do it. Now I've got an area here where the broadleaves are kind of taking over my grass and I'm not too happy about it. And I would probably go out and buy some weed killers and something that I can find at the garden center to work to kill it. But I don't want to because I got my water feature right near here and that's where my birds hang out. And I know if I put broadleaf killer on there, the water's probably going to end up in my little pond. And I don't know what kind of chemicals are in there and I can't believe that they're good for my birds. So an easy way to kill a lot of broadleaves is just by putting hot boiling water on them. So I just try to go to the center of where they're at and make sure and put some hot boiling water on them. You just go a little bit at a time. And as you can see, they're kind of just acting like they're cooking. And they're kind of just dying down. Now, of course, I need a lot more than that for this area. And I might even take a few trips. But eventually, I will kill those broadleaves. And an easy way just to get some new grass, and I've done this without even killing the broadleaves first, and it's worked pretty well, is just put some potting soil or compost over the area where you've got a lot of dandelions or broadleaves. And especially in the spring and the fall, I try to do it every spring and fall. I go through my yard, and wherever there's a bunch of broadleaves, I'll put some soil down and a bunch of grass. And make sure it's perennial grass, so the kind that's not going to die over the wintertime. And it's the right grass for your area. And I'll put just a ton of grass seed in here and water it well, and it'll water with the rain in the fall. And eventually, over a couple years, I've killed almost all the broadleaves and the dandelions in my garden.